Hi everyone, this is Mr Neel Raithatha, also known as the Wax Whisperer. Thank you for joining me in my latest video. This is of a patient who attends regularly, I would say annually, and they suffer from bilateral, fully occluding earwax and dead skin. They have very itchy ears, it's one of their main complaints, and they've had various antibiotic ear drops and sprays and ointments provided, but their itchy ears are forever giving them an issue, and it's exacerbated when their ears get blocked. So they come every year to have their ears de-waxed. So this is typically their worst ear, it's the right ear. And in this particular ear, they have a soft but firm plug of wax. Now, it's a bit of a sticky consistency, and what I'm trying to do here is just lift it off the floor of the ear canal. So we're near the entrance, you can see all the cilia there, all the hairs, and they're located near the entrance. And surrounding this plug of wax, so enveloped, is this dry skin, and you can see it there, the white glossy appearance around the perimeter. And again, I'm just trying to lift it off the... This is a bit of a blind spot when you enter the ear on either side. So in the case of the right ear, as you enter on the left hand side, there's a little blind spot there. So we're just trying to, and quite often wax can get trapped in that blind spot, so it's wherever possible, I always recommend to remove that or to mobilize it, and it will release the rest of the plug. So because of the consistency of the wax, I have lifted it off the canal wall. I'll just put some oil in here now just to lubricate it and to get a better suction grip, and you can see I've got a good grip here now. The key here is as I'm coming away from the ear out of the ear, the suction grip, you can see on a couple of occasions there I lost the suction grip, and you just have to be very patient. You have to hover over the top of it in order to get the suction grip. If you push it too hard, what will happen, you'll indent and imprint into this kind of wax. It's more of a clay consistency, so you don't want to go in too forceful with the sucker. You just want to hover, kiss the surface and extract slowly. And you can see I'm coming upwards as well. You can see that layer of skin. So this ear canal, as you enter, there's a dip down and it goes back up again. And as I was retrieving that, I was having to angle it, kind of going upwards. Ear canal's clear, it's going to mop up around the edge. A bit of skin here and there. It's nothing that's going to cause any issues. I am going to try and remove most of this anyway with the fine end. We're just going to be careful, we don't want to graze the skin too much. We're on the cartilaginous portion here, so it's more comfortable for the patient, but we certainly don't want to be doing that on the inner 2/3. Nice healthy eardrum. You can see some dry skin here as well. This is actually outside the ear, just at the entrance. Again, I'm just using the fine now, I'm just trying to come from behind and lift away. We're always going to be careful with clarinetting. When you suction dead skin, the skin can flap, and I think it just did there when I removed that piece at the back. So we're just mopping it. We're going to leave that as it is. We don't want to... If you over clarinet, it's extremely noisy, and it's not only noisy for the patient, it's noisy for me. And there's always a risk with any loud sound in the ear that you can cause a temporary threshold shift, so a temporary loss in your hearing, and in the worst case scenario, a permanent shift in your hearing. In addition, loud sounds can induce tinnitus, which is a ringing or a buzzing noise, or exacerbate a pre-existing tinnitus. So you've just got to be really, really careful and make the right clinical judgment when to stop. And in that case, because it was clarineting a bit, we just stopped. There was nothing, you can see the eardrum, they could hear very well. And that's the main purpose of patients visiting you, to make them hear better. So this is their left ear. Now this ear, I wouldn't say it was as blocked, but the consistency of this, it's a lot wetter, stickier, and you can already see the eardrum now. The hearing when this side was fine, it's just the itchiness, so we were just trying to peel away as much of this skin off the canal wall, being as safe as possible and to avoid any clarinetting. So we're just at the entrance, and again just trying to get the sucker, trying to lift up and away. The skin is a lot more strongly adhered here. The best way I can describe how the skin attaches to the canal wall is, imagine you've got a really strong, some super glue, And you can just imagine that glue being applied to the skin and it's pressed onto the canal, so skin's not easy to remove. So far so good, we're not getting any clarinetting. And we've managed to peel a lot off the bottom, and we're just going to go to the back part of the canal. We're just going to go around, all the way around the edge, just peeling this away. And let's just see how dry the skin is. They do suffer from psoriasis. So again, just going a bit higher up. So wherever possible with skin, I like to use the full zone of suction probe, but when it begins to clarinet is when you should always revert back to a fine end, because you're less likely to get that. And I just felt at this stage the need to go with a fine end, so there we are. So I'd say the floor of the ear canal, the back part of the ear canal is clear, it's just the front part now. You can see it's quite sticky, it blocks the tube. I think I might have just gone back to the full zoner here. Now we are on the cartilaginous portion, the outer third, so we can put a bit of pressure, which is fortunate for us, we can do that. And I'm just at the roof, and I'm just moving the sucker side to side, left to right. And whenever you're using the sucker against the canal, we've got to make sure you're not stabbing into the canal, you're just hovering over the surface, just making minimal contact. You can just see how dry all this is. And the patient will have to use their medication. There's a little bit just at the front of the ear canal there. I think I'm going to go back and try and see if I can get that. There we are. And I'm just using the fine end, I believe, now. Now, if there's any clarineting, we would have stopped, but there wasn't so far, so we decided to continue. You can see these movements. We're getting a grip and going away. We're trying to move the sucker and skin away from the canal, and just got to be careful on the bony part now. So this is where you've always got to be a bit more careful. Back onto the cartilaginous portion, so we're on that boundary. And now we're probably onto the bone, so we're going to be a bit more careful now. So I'm just going to use a Jobson horn. Again, we're going to make sure we don't get on the bony part here. We're just going to make sure we're on the cartilaginous portion, because it will be uncomfortable if we put this Jobson horn on the bony part. And it's like an ice cream scoop. We're just scooping this away. This ear was a lot drier, as you can see, than the other ear. So they do have their otitis externa, their eczema. It's a lot more significantly more itchy in this ear, despite the right ear being more blocked. You can see we're really trying our best to release this dry skin. But they've got some acetic acid spray and antibiotic, and that will help with the rest. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video, guys, and you're all keeping well and safe. Do stay tuned, got loads more videos to upload during the next coming days and weeks. Take care, bye.